You guys keep protecting this show.
It's not protection.
Well, the live show, man, I don't know if that needs protection. The live show is going to be July 20th, Racket, New York City, a couple weeks away. It's not that far.
Around the corner, man.
Yeah, it's like 17 days. Today's the 3rd. Yeah, 2.5 weeks. Holy shit. Jade Hoy's going to be there. Bomani Jones going to be there. Nick Wright's going to be there. Pablo Torre's going to be there. Waz, Amin, Trey, Mays, Eden, me, Tom. Who else? Everybody. There's just even more. Like, so many people we couldn't even fit it on a poster. And we tried to do, like, you know how many people are in those dumbass Avengers movies? We tried to do one of those. So we had too many people. We had more people on this show than the Avengers.
And it's going to get rowdy. Just so y'all know, it's going to get rowdy. So please, don't be too late. Go get your tickets ASAP at countthedings.com, the events page. It's going to be one for the books, y'all.
It's going to be, I'm calling the shot. It's going to be the best live show we've ever done.
Easily.
It's definitely going to be the craziest live show we've ever done. That doesn't always equal the best, but I think it's going to be both. I mean, it's a Waz home game. So that's already...
Yeah, expect to hear many hecklers in the crowd for that. That's it.
Yeah.
That's usually what home games mean.
Yes.
For me mean hecklers and antagonizers in the crowd.
Right.
So yeah, that'll be part of that.
That's a show that doesn't need protection. A show that shouldn't be protected is Clipped.
So good.
This show was horrible.
You said this is the worst show ever.
It might be.
Which is insane.
No, I haven't seen I haven't seen The Idol. Was that the weekend one?
Oh,
The
yeah.
Idol?
Oh,
The Idol was bad.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad. That's a show I tried to cape for, but like,
yeah,
The Idol was bad for reasons that are explainable. They shot an entire show.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like it. HBO said, "We're not giving you any more money," and so they shot a new show in a condensed time with no money.
Mm-hmm.
At the Weeknd's house.
Yes.
Sure.
Like,
yeah, why not? Okay.
that not working is like, it's obvious. Like, duh.
Sure.
Of course that didn't work.
Sure.
The Clip show, I think, worked for me beautifully. I loved it.
I mean, look, I can't get enough of it. But that doesn't mean it's good. I couldn't get enough of Ballers. It's as bad as Ballers.
It's as bad as Ballers.
Yeah. It's as bad as Ballers.
I would disagree with that. Ballers never is about anything at any point.
No.
What is this about?
In
Except
terms
stopping
of
the NCAA.
I'm talking about in terms of something about life, society,
opioid addiction,
etc., etc. Like, Ballers was never about anything for real, whereas this show is like about stuff. It's clumsy, but it's about
awful.
shit. It's about shit.
All right. First of all, there's not a chance Doc and DeAndre ever played the hand slap game in a locker room ever, or especially not in the locker room. Okay. And there's sure not a chance that Chris Paul would come over there and join in.
Okay. See, again, this is a basketball blogger critique. Okay.
No.
I've been around the NBA. These guys don't carry themselves like this in the locker room. It's a fair critique, but
I don't think they would carry like this in a fucking rumpus room in a goddamn barbecue. Like, this is in a fucking sauna. You want to tell me that Doc and LeVar Burton did it? Sure, I'll buy that. I'll buy anything that you tell me they did at this point.
Why can't Doc and the players do it?
Well, one, this show would lead you to believe that DeAndre Jordan, his hands would be full with his lizard.
It's true.
Just
until he loses his lizard in the most tragic twist of Clipped, he got loose.
The DeAndre thing for me that's kind of weird on the show is this idea that he was a leader on the Clippers. Not to say that he was some goofball, nothing. He was one of their best players, but he was they're painting him as like MLK of the team.
I don't remember. I could be wrong about this, but I don't remember him being like the activist of activists.
Bro,
I might not be remembering it correctly because there was a lot going on at that time, but I don't remember that.
But that's never been his reputation, though, guys. Like leader guy, like Al Horford leader guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I don't know, name any numerous leader guys that have existed who were like not quite all-stars all the time, but like, you know, leaders, locker room guy, presence guy.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre was never like he was never. That's never been his reputation.
Not close. God, I have a story that would have to be Bossa Nova, but it speaks exactly to that.
But it's about DeAndre and his non-leadership role.
Yes.
So here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about why I did.
Maybe I'll tell it the last show.
Why I wholly disagree with you, Zach, is because the show's attempt to confront like black celebrity and why do these motherfuckers have to be thrust into racial leadership roles? Like the show is actually in dialogue with that reality. It's true. We turn every black celebrity into a leader of the race. And NBA players, man, of all the black celebrities that we have, might be the most ill-equipped for that specific job.
NFL.
Okay, NFL, fair. You know what's funny? In my friend group of homies back home, like we only have one person who is like a self-identified. He's a football guy. Played football since he was younger. Pop Warner was like all city in football. Like he's a football guy. And every now and again we have to catch ourselves whenever it's just be like, oh, these disgusting football players. They're such savages. And he's like, whoa, wait a minute. Why?
I did that the other day with or this maybe a couple months ago, but I was in some group chat and I talked shit about, I was like, oh, you know, like race car drivers are just filthy people. You can't trust them or whatever. And one of the people are like, yeah, my dad was a race car driver. Like, I mean, not all of them, but like
there's exceptions to every rule. But no, like the show is actually trying to confront that. Even as cringy as the Doc and LeVar Burton conversation is, like, bro, like I think a different version of this show is Remember the Titans. It's in the locker room. There's no dissenting voice. It's like we all came together in this kumbaya moment and threw our jerseys in the freaking basket and blah, blah, blah. Like, I think it's to the show's credit that there's actually some cynicism about that. It's just like, bruh, really? We threw our jerseys in the bucket. We blah, blah, blah. Like, we did this. Like, there's actually differing opinions about black celebrities as racial leaders. Like, I think that's interesting.
I think if the show was about that and not one or two scenes in the final episode, I'd be with you.
I think the show's been about that the whole season, though.
I don't know.
I think, bro,
I don't know about that.
When guys are talking shit about Blake for being like docile and compliant to Donald Sterling and his ways, like the way that these guys know that, like, okay, we're superstars and put on a pedestal in a one sense, but this white guy can come in here and treat us like shoe shines.
Sure.
Like they've been they've been confronting this shit from the very beginning. Like, again, these guys don't look like the people they're portraying. They're not A-list actors, but the show itself is talking about big ideas and things.
The A-list actor's not acting like an A-list actor. Like, I
disagree. I think Larry Fishburne. I think Larry Fishburne's doing a pretty good job. In fact, I thought episode 5 he was like fucking like really good. Like, I thought he was like great. I thought he was like really good. And we know Ed O'Neill is killing it.
Ed O'Neill's been great.
So you think Larry Fishburne's been bad?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I disagree.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he's been bad in every scene, but I would say there are far more bad scenes than there are good scenes with him.
I think you feel like that because he's wearing shoe polish on his head.
If
he wasn't wearing the shoe polish, I think you'd feel differently.
I'm too busy looking at his tits to notice this.
I thought Larry Fishburne's been good. Cleopatra.
I think Cleopatra's been fantastic.
She's really good.
She's been fantastic.
Shelly Sterling person has been really good.
Yes. I think there have been 3 good performances in this show. Shelly, Cleopatra, Ed O'Neill.
The Jamal Crawford guy.
How old is that guy?
He gets on my nerves.
How old is that guy? We can no longer say black don't crack. That guy's 60 years old and he looks 60.
Yeah, he looks crazy. Some of the Chris Paul stuff can be heavy-handed at times.
Some of it? Name a light-handed moment with this Chris Paul character.
When he's like, man, I'm trying to win a chip. I'm about to win a chip.
Hey, you going to the pool? No, I'm going to the finals. Yeah, random women at the hotel. That's what I'm about. I'm serious.
The Chris Paul stuff has lacked subtlety. We can say that.
It's the DeAndre stuff's been horrible. Horrible. That's not him.
Yeah.
And you know what this is? This is Doc as the consultant. DJ is his guy.
Oh, he's a DJ guy.
Big time, man.
He did call him Bill Russell one day.
Yeah. He was trying to get him Defensive Player of the Year and shit. Like, I mean, Doc is like, all right, who can I make look good here? DJ.
Doc, the Doc scene where him and Austin confront Shelly Sterling at lunch.
We got that clip. We got that clip.
Let's see the A-list performance here by Larry Fishburne in this scene.
Oh, the performance is fine. What are you talking about?
Let's see.
Hello, Shelly.
Oh.
This is my son, Austin. He plays for the Pelicans. We're thinking about maybe bringing him out for the Clippers, make it more our own a little bit.
That's Landry Shamet, by the
way. This is Justine.
Shelly, you didn't have to waste your money buying our lunch. I was going to have my agent expense it.
Oh, honey, it was my way of saying hello. I miss you all. It's been so hard giving up the team, but I wanted to do the best thing for the players. Ubuntu, as you say. Be great through others.
Yeah, well, but you didn't really give it up.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I was looking at our financials. You still have 12 tickets for every game, VIP passes, free food, free parking. If we win a title, you get 3 championship rings. Why 3? I have no fucking idea. You are officially the team's #1 fan, and that's codified in your deal, and you and Donald still own our practice space, which means you'll probably just keep taking our rent money. Looks like you did pretty good. And that absolutely fills me with rage. I know that Donald likes to eat other people's food. Maybe you do too. After all, you paid for it.
Is that Larry Fishburne acting bad, or is that just a weirdly written scene?
I'm open to the idea that it's both. What's the voice he's doing?
He's doing a more throaty version of his own voice.
Okay. All right.
Because I could talk more throaty the rest of the episode if you guys would like, but I still wouldn't sound like Doc Rivers.
There's a scene in the show in episode 6 where he just goes into the character from John Wick. He just starts channeling that guy. Same voice, same manners, everything. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
Poorly written scene.
Horribly written, yeah.
They just wanted to have the proud black man has his dignified moment with the racist, out of touch, messed up, untouchable, really white, billionaire lady. Mm-hmm. I personally didn't need that scene. Just like, Doc getting his racial justice. I didn't need that scene for sure, to be sure. But I did appreciate the scene that came right before it, where Shelly Stern's best friend is like, yo, bro, like, this shit is shitty. Like, the way you're carrying this is shitty.
Yeah, I do really appreciate that, because I think I voiced this last week, but I was concerned after the first 2 episodes. Oh, they're gonna make her look like a good guy. Like a good guy here. Like, this is like, she's gonna be a hero. And they have gone way against that. Yeah, she got taken to task.
Yeah.
Part of me is disappointed. Like, I could have used way more Sterling Anderson Cooper. Way more.
Yeah, I mean,
way more. And
he's got AIDS. That made it, which is because, again, you interrupted Anderson Cooper to say that.
I would have loved to just see the interview, like, in their form of it.
Yeah.
And then rewind and show me the players watching. Show me whoever watching it.
I don't even need the players watching it.
No, I didn't need their little sleepover in the hotel room.
And everybody's
trying to shame them into watching it because he's watching film. And oh my God,
I'm gonna Skype with my kids.
Oh my God!
And then he bails on that. He just starts watching.
Come on.
The comments caught on tape echo charges made by Elgen Baylor.
No. You're trying to connect them.
Well, he made a claim that you had a plantation mentality.
What the fuck is he saying?
I don't know what that means. To have a mentality.
What?
Exactly. Motherfucker, not knowing is the problem. To have a plantation mentality is to feel like you own these guys.
I think you have more of a plantation mentality than I do. I think you're more of a racist than I am.
Magic Johnson has said he would never attend a game while you were owner.
I'm hurt. But it doesn't matter. He acts so holy.
I don't think this is an apology anymore.
Big Magic Johnson, what has he done?
Well, he's a business person.
He's got AIDS.
What the fuck?
Did he do business? I'd like to know.
I gotta watch this shit now. I think he has HIV. I don't think he actually has
what kind of a guy
AIDS.
goes to every city, excuse me, he made love to every girl in America, and he had AIDS. And when he had those AIDS, I prayed for him.
Oh, I get it. I thought he was one of the most successful and beloved black men in America, but he's actually just a sex fiend.
Who doesn't do anything for anybody.
Who does nothing for nobody, and his getting HIV is supposed to be what he deserves. Man, fuck out of here,
I mean, is this someone we want to respect and tell our kids about? I think he should be ashamed of himself.
It's a shame that JJ Redick is now the Lakers coach, because he could have done such a great watch along, 6 episodes, bring in former teammates with the Clippers, like break down what this show is and how real it is. That would have been great. I guess maybe a year and a half he could do it when he's free.
No, what are you talking about? JJ Redick is the future. He's going to develop Bronny James, Max Christie.
I don't think whether or not he's a good coach is going to have anything to do with whether or not he's employed in a year and a half.
Sconnect, what's his name? The kid they drafted?
Yeah, you got it. Schenectady, New York. Yeah.
They're gonna be good. They're gonna be good with the player development. JJ is the future. He is the wave of the future. The Lakers organization is obviously super stable. Great management. It's gonna be fantastic.
They started signing more assistant coaches this week than they did players.
Well, I mean,
JJ needs a staff. Come on.
I would have done that maybe weeks ago, but that's just me.
Like, this is my thing with the Lakers too. It's like, I guess they say that they want to compete for a championship, but there's no championship competing moves to be made.
No.
So, like, I'm not going to make fun of them for not doing something drastic, for something that clearly won't make them championship contenders.
Well,
I think what they're doing is the right thing. It's like, all right, LeBron, play out your string.
No, I mean, they have moves they could make. You could make a trade.
It wouldn't make them championship level team.
It would guarantee they're out of the play-in.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not convinced of that.
Here's the thing. Do something. Whether you can do something drastic or not, just do something. And signing the 55th pick does not count as doing something.
I don't know, Zach. I think they can be the clipped of NBA franchises.
They already are.
Possibly the worst one ever, and you can't turn away.
Yeah. So this is where we can get a little bogged down in the details. I loved the interview scene. It wasn't quite to scale. It wasn't quite as bombastic as the original, where they did a better job with it, with V talking to Barbara Walters than this one. I actually thought I could have used less Al Bundy and more Donald Sterling. I kind of felt like he slipped a little bit in that interview scene. Still very good. Still made me laugh extremely hard. But
Jamal Crawford was killing me.
That's the thing. You don't interrupt it with players watching. The only part of that where I was like, okay, this is something, is where Blake says, I don't think this is an apology anymore. That's the only part where I'm like, okay, yeah, clearly they noticed a shift here, but I didn't need Chris Paul strike my kids and then, I got to sit down and watch this now.
Even that is a narration of what we can clearly just watch.
Right.
Not great.
What did you guys think of Ballmer?
Oh my God. I fucking loved it.
I enjoyed it.
Ballmer. Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed, because Ballmer is a ridiculous character. In real life. That a guy is that outwardly emotional, unironically, he is just that. I'm glad that they played that up, because he is a pretty ridiculous character. I don't mean that pejoratively. I mean that it's hard to square this guy.
I don't think I actually think that's probably the hardest character to get right on this show. Just from an acting standpoint. And the guy did a 8 out of 10 job. He was pretty good.
I was really good in the hallway. When he at the very end, when he's yelling at them and trying to hype them up and what turns out to be a video on a phone. I thought that was great.
That was very Ballmer, yeah.
I'm again, the Ballmer stuff, I enjoyed the rich guy jealousy, pettiness thing, where obviously Donald Sterling is this guy is a way bigger deal than I am, but this is still my shit, and I can choose to not give it to him, which is my saving grace. I loved that dynamic of it, right? Where he's just no, he's not the guy. No, he's not the guy.
Calls him an idiot for keeping $2 billion in cash.
Yeah. It was $2 billion in cash. Idiot. Not the guy.
Calls him Zippy the Pinhead. 20 CBS reference. It was great. That was a great meltdown when he's confronted by a businessman who's way better than him. What are you in better? Computers? what are you doing over there? Yeah, I know those guys.
Yeah.
I love the scene with the therapist or the person who's assessing whether or not he
the
can.
Neurologist.
Yeah, the neurologist, whether he can be at his full faculties. I thought that was a great scene where he's like, I'm rich enough to have a calculator, when he's asked to go back from 100 by 7. That was great.
Super good.
Let's just get to the LeVar Burton.
Yeah.
They moved out of the sauna,
They
man.
moved in, they move in together. LeVar's just hanging at the penthouse now.
The date went to a second location. That's how you know it's getting serious.
I get it. I get that they need someone for Doc to bounce the situation off of and give perspective and everything. And LeVar Burton does actually have a fascinating story in real life.
The chains I wore in Roots, I keep them over the hearth in my living room, right above my 12 Emmys. What is that about?
I don't know. What is it to you?
America first met me as Kunta Kinte, a young African kid who was kidnapped, tortured, refused his slave name. Then I read to their children and maintained the integrity of their favorite spaceship. Pretty soon, people began to think of me as safe.
Oh, the safest.
Once, I read Go the Fuck to Sleep for charity. One of my brand partners dropped me.
What, you can't even say fuck?
I can, but there are consequences. I said fuck. I lost money.
Shit.
If I showed how angry I really am, but I'm not gonna hide it. So, I keep my chains on the wall in the living room. I want my guests to know, while I am unquestionably their friend, I am also absolutely filled with rage.
All the reminders of his place and how society views him and everything. Like, I think that's actually a really good perspective. I thought his part in this episode was good, but then the relation to Doc, relating all that stuff to Doc and what he's going through, like, just clunky. Good attempt. I actually thought it was a good attempt. It's just weird. It's weird how they keep trying to force this friendship in there.
I think, I don't know, the friendship shit is just so that Doc can express his ideology, basically. This is how I choose to perform, proud public black man, right? Like, I'm a public person. I'm proud to be black. This is how I choose to do it, which is essentially Doc is trying to justify, which I don't think he should need to, but these people do. He wants to justify his never let them see you sweat approach to public blackness, even when there's some crazy racialized, racist shit swirling around me, i.e. one, the people in Milwaukee at Marquette was not happy that he had a white girlfriend. Mm-hmm. That was a thing that happened on campus while he was there. And this thing, like, these are things that he's dealt with, these very public racist things that he's been in the middle of. And his approach has been, yo, I'm going to be the never let them see you sweat black guy. I'm not going to be screaming, rageful, like, foaming at the mouth. Let's go kill Whitey, blah, 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 black guy. And he's trying to justify that stance, that ideology. Mm-hmm. And again, the reason why I think it's revealing, because, like, bruh, like, that's not some isolated way of thinking in the black elite. And all of their shit, by the way, is based on some racially redemptive, I'm a leader of the race, I have a role to play, I'm important in the race dialogue, this is my role. Like, they all really conceive of themselves as our betters in the public. Mm-hmm. And by our, I mean normal black people, as opposed to people like Doc, people like LeVar Burton. So for me, like, watching Doc Rivers have to explain his ideology, I'm actually fascinated by that, knowing that this dude is a freaking consultant on this show. Because this is how all of these dudes, they all think they're Barack Obama in some way.
Right.
Like,
right. Well, no, I wonder, like, because you mentioned like how these guys are tasked with, like, saving the race, right? And being the race.
They think they're tasked with saving the race.
Right. Yes. But
more importantly,
to me, this part of it, and again, I'm open to the idea that, because I haven't thought about this in 10 years, this whole incident, like, I'm open to the idea that I'm not remembering everything and not remembering correctly. It seems like some pretty calculated revisionist history by Doc.
I don't think so, bro. Like, at the time, Zach, like, Doc was getting a lot of positive press about how he handled it.
Yes, he was.
To the point where they had to hand him the GM ship as reward for stewarding this in such a brilliant way. Like, he got props for his handling of the situation.
I'm talking about, like, I guess there's no way of really knowing this. I'm talking about, like,
Like, was Doc behind the scenes being
the Shelly Sterling thing,
No.
and that the lunch that she tried to buy her with it, like the scenes like that, where I'm just like, okay, yeah, like, and I'm not doubting that he stood up for himself, his team, his race, all that stuff. It's just there's such this like, it is just such this like, let me put on my cape real quick and handle this scene. And I'm just like, I don't know. For the guy who is constantly, and granted, this is all public facing. Public facing is always like the good guy, the jovial guy, all this stuff. I'm not doubting he's a different person behind the scene. But there's things of like him, the way he was in practice, the way he was in the locker room, the way he was in a lot of this stuff. I'm just like, I don't know, man.
So here's the thing though, Zach, like, like the entire ethos of doing what he does in public, right? Mm-hmm. These public figures think that their behavior in public is going to have a transferable power to the white masses. So it's like Doc's behavior in public is going to make the white masses believe this is black people. They're dignified.
And it does.
Not. Right? And I think in the same way that Doc's public behavior in all of this is like, oh, he's doing this with such dignity and he seems so competent up on that podium. Clearly he's doing the same thing behind the scenes. There's that transference. It's the same thing to me. It's like Doc thinks we're going to transfer his public dignity and confer it onto the masses of black, and by we, I mean white people in America, are going to confer that dignity onto the masses of the lowly blacks and uplift us just by Doc putting a good face at a press conference. Right. And then 2, Doc knows this, by the way, because it happened in the media, that people are going to see how he handles this in public and think this is exactly how he's handling it behind the scenes.
Right. And there is the thing about the whole like Doc Rivers press conference laugh, right? Where he gets these forced laughs and everything, where I could see him thinking like, yeah, I've disarmed these guys. And all it does is in the moment, keep one extra tough question from you. It doesn't actually change the perspective of like who he is as a coach or a person. It's just like, oh, yeah, Doc, funny.
Super close to it. We personally know people who have been snaked by Doc.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. We know the real Doc.
Yes.
Is nothing like this.
Right.
The real Doc would never confront Shelly Sterling, bro. He would smile in her face and talk crap behind it. Mm-hmm. And that's why when people were bitching at JJ Redick about what he said about Doc, JJ was letting something go.
JJ was like, hey, by the way.
Like he was letting it go. Like, bruh, I'm tired of this shit with Doc and it's cap. We all know this to be true about Doc, but like, bruh, his public reputation is sterling, dude.
At the time it was sterling. At the time it was. I do think the last 4 years or so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's gone away, which, by the way, what a great time for this show. Do you think people in Milwaukee are watching the show going, now, hold on a second. This is not our experience the last few months.
You think Dame Lillard is stopping from Skyping his kids to check out?
I don't think. I'm guessing clips? Dame has not seen the show.
I would assume Dame hasn't watched this.
Zach, I think when you say there's a little bit of revisionist history, I think that's definitely true in the shape of the show, kind of questioning whether their decision was the right decision. And that's what happens with Chris coming and his kid and the tears. And Chris is like, I think we should have canceled the game. I think we should have boycotted. I think we should have protested. And he thinks that that Adam Silver is like getting the credit for getting Donald Sterling up out of there.
Right. Yeah. Which I think that part was a little bit true at the time that became more prevalent as a thought as we got further and further away from it. Right. Like, cause at the time it was like, wow, Adam Silver, like look at him drop the hammer on Donald Sterling. Stern should have done this decades ago, and like there was a lot of that. And then as we've gotten away from it, and as Sterling or as Silver has like kind of made some fucking mistakes, right? Like done a bad job for a few years, with a few things, and it's like, oh yeah, maybe not the hero commissioner we thought he was, right? And then I think in that it's helped some revising of like what that situation was and who deserves the credit. The part that was funny to me about the whole Chris Paul we shouldn't have played thing was like, wait, weren't you crying? Like, I want my ring, let's play.
Yes,
like,
100%.
Yes.
That's at least, or that's how the show portrayed it. But again, like this shit fascinates me because I bet you in their heart of hearts, all the people involved probably had times where they were like, man, we should have fucking just boycotted.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
Which again, the reason why I'm fascinated by, because why? Like
because Sterling got $2.2 billion. That's why. Because I think it was
game wouldn't have stopped that.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think that was the thing. It was like, no, we'll play and everything. And then Sterling gets $2 billion. And like, wait a second, he gets rewarded for this?
But that was going to be the outcome of him losing his team.
But I don't know that everyone knew that at the time. And I'm saying like players may not have known that, right? Like people around the league may not have known that. Because I think there was still like people covering this stuff. When that sale got announced, there were people going, wait a second, he gets paid for this? And that's stupid. In
the players had to know he was going to get paid for his team, right?
Look, again, we're back to the football, but like there are NFL players that don't know you can tie in a game. Like I don't know that. Like I think players are so singular. I think
people think the team could get taken away and not get paid for it.
Yeah, I think there were people at the time that thought that was a real likelihood, and I'm saying people like in this thing.
That's something I didn't consider. I remember that too much agency. I don't know.
I remember that eyebrow being raised of like, wait a second, he's getting paid $2 billion for being a racist.
Yes.
And then there was that one Hawks owner of the three main Hawks owners who like had some emails where it was like he said some kind of racist shit. Where he's like, I don't know, we got a lot of black fans at games. It's, maybe not the way for us to be selling this thing. And those emails came out and he's like, you know what? Just cash me out and I'm out of here.
Yeah,
it was it was like, oh, you're still getting paid for all this? Yeah, that's fine.
Yes. So my thing is, was this a missed opportunity for some dope civil disobedience? These motherfuckers not playing an NBA game.
The show made it seem like it, though.
No.
But Maze, what I would say is that they probably believe that shit.
Okay.
That's what I'm telling you about black celebs, man. They really think their lives, their existence is to like, it's like they've been handed the mantle. And the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yep, and it's all true.
One of the 5 most embarrassing franchises in the history of American sport.
Mm-hmm.
Them not playing some games would have done what for the masses of black people, Maze? What?
Yeah, Maze. Yeah, answer it.
Yeah, let me answer
what
that.
would it have done?
Let me dig deep into my bag of answers here.
But I'm telling you, they definitely believe that they were representing the race, guys. That's what I'm trying
Doc
to say.
For sure. Doc for sure. And his whole monologue about his Texas house, his ethos is keep it pushing. Don't let it rattle you. Don't let it appear to affect you on the surface.
By the way, completely legitimate.
Yeah, I don't think there's. I get it why you would do that.
And somebody who wants to be more racialized in their response and like, why I'm gonna kill Whitey and the plantation of the NBA. And if you want to be that nigga, like if the lane is there for you, you're gonna seem ridiculous when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or whoever is gonna sign a contract for $400 million.
Yeah,
the plantation.
Can you spend a season being that guy?
I can't do it. I could probably fake it for like 3 weeks.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, a full season's pretty tough.
But like,
and you don't want like to be Whitlock's like number one like co-host.
You're in Turks and Caicos, like, you know what I mean? The minute the season ends on some private island with you and your family, feet kicked up.
Worst case scenario, you're in Tulum.
Worst case scenario, you're in Tulum. And you want to compare yourself to folks that got lashes picking cotton 12 hours a day in the Louisiana sun in July? Really? Really? That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. The plantation of the NBA. That's what we're doing. Wow.
Well, how about that fake Russell Westbrook, huh, guys?
Enjoyed it. Following Russell Westbrook on the 3, by the way, 3-point attempt.
That's the only Clippers. Shot of the game we see, and that's how we know that things are bad, is that he fouled him on the 3-pointer. Do you think that they cut around the faces as backlash from the Steph Curry earlier in the season? Because we don't really get a clear look at any Thunder.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. Although, but it was, but also KD, really wasn't about
35 that happened.
No,
right?
They were out there. I'm just saying, like, we got real good looks at Dak Prescott, Steph Curry. We got real good looks at Draymond Green in the hallway. Yeah. So it was a curious decision to me to give us the back of Russell Westbrook's jersey as he shoots those free throws, for example.
But I also think like it wasn't about the basketball anymore at that point. Like they didn't need it. That might be something that was a decision post them getting roasted, like what it would have been 5 weeks prior, 4 weeks prior, whatever that was. Yeah.
Can we talk about
lead to that funny locker room scene though?
Oh my God. Doc, this is a championship team.
Yes.
If it wasn't for this goddamn racist owner, we would have won the championship.
Yeah. Also, he loves making an excuse.
Also, Draymond and them wanting to fight the Clippers for not boycotting Draymond.
Yeah.
Really?
Someone I know.
Draymond's always needed excuses to fight people. He says he's always just needed a righteous cause for a fight. He never wants to fight. He needs a righteous cause.
Someone I know who was around that whole incident saw the clip from the show and was like, hold on, that's supposed to be the hallway fight? I said, yeah. And they were like, that is not even close to what happened. It's just not even.
Come on. The Warriors wanted to fight you for not boycotting?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing?
Fist fight.
Not great.
Can we talk about V. Stiviano a little bit? Because she kind of got bumped to the back, the end of the docket on this episode. But she's trying to come up with a book deal. She's almost out of money. She has to sell the Ferrari. She gets roasted in court and loses the house.
Yeah.
And then guess who's there as a shoulder to cry on at a dive bar down the street? It's Deja. One of the stars of the show. And we got this random guy bombing her and hitting her in the face.
That never happened.
He clocked her from the looks of it.
He clocked her so hard with the right hook that he bruised her the opposite side of her face.
This was more fictitious than Jussie Smollett, y'all. I promise you. This never.
They should have gotten Jussie to play.
This never came close to happening. Yeah, I mean, she got marginalized at the end of the show, but like realistically, she's the most marginal player in this entire story. Like, even if she was the catalyst in terms of the people with the power and the influence.
Yeah. Once the tape is out there and she does the Barbara Walters interview, there really is nothing left.
There's nothing left for you to contribute, my love.
Yeah.
Which is funny because if she would have played this right, there's nothing left for you. It's crazy too, by the way. Like if she would have played this the right way, Donald Sterling probably still owns the team, him and his family. And she ends up with a nice nest egg.
Yeah,
she bumbled this. which is crazy. That's a crazy ill alternate history. You know what else is an ill alternate history? Shelly Sterling not being able to completely take over the sales process. And the NBA actually, Adam Silver, new commissioner, actually having to whip the votes to get this guy kicked out. I personally don't think he would have been able to do it.
Yeah.
I do not think so.
Yeah,
isn't it like 24 owners or something crazy like that?
That you need to do it?
Yeah.
I think so.
I know it's like in the 20s.
It might be 22. It might be like a 2/3 majority or something like that, or it's got to be over a 2/3 majority. I can't remember what it is.
Shelly Sterling saved his bacon. Period.
Good wife.
Great wife.
Stand by your man.
We should all be so lucky.
End.
Yeah. Well, at the end, this guy just full out paint out sunbathing,
perineum tanning.
He went for the Emmy. He was going for the Emmy with that one. That's going on the real.
The carefully tossed newspaper onto.
That's going on the real.
Ferguson of all headlines.
Yeah. But no, Zach, do you think Silver would have been able to whip up the votes, bro?
I think there was
without more player pressure.
Without more player pressure, no.
Where the union gets involved, and the union's like, look, our union body is going to stand in front of this and
if he comes out there in that press conference and says he is suspended indefinitely, right? Which we now know Silver loves to suspend indefinitely, which doesn't mean anything. Just a pro tip out there. He suspends someone indefinitely. Don't go, oh my God. Like drop the hammer. Like, no, it just means he hasn't made a decision, but he knows this person's got to be out of there for a while. I think they don't play that game. If he suspended, I think the fact that he said is banned for life. That is what was enough to kind of placate the players to see what was going to happen. So if he does that and then the players protest and do not play in that game, and maybe it reaches other series as a form of solidarity, as players are being, are embracing empowerment and everything at that time. Like now we're like, oh, player empowerment. It wasn't quite as prevalent back then, right? Then I think eventually Silver could get the votes, but I think it takes a lot of dominoes falling. I don't think it's as easy as people think, but I don't think it's as impossible or unlikely as you're saying. I just think it would have been a real fucked process.
It would have taken a long ass time.
Absolutely. Like it probably delays the playoffs significantly.
Man, shouts to Shelly Sterling. Saving everybody's bacon.
I mean, arguably one of the greatest wives ever and one of the greatest co-owners ever.
One of the greatest wives. When you consider the level of permissibility, I think I just made that word up.
That's what we're calling that? Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, the permissibility level.
Yeah. You know what they say? The most important ability
is permissibility.
Is permissibility, yes.
Especially when it comes to wiving.
Did you guys catch the Ramona Shelburne?
Plug? One of the most respected reporters,
a well-respected journalist doing a podcast for ESPN. I like that little Easter egg.
Not well respected.
But I didn't understand the scene.
She's respected.
They just had to get her into it one more time.
Yeah. When was this scene?
Episode 2.
You're talking about the shoehorn. Okay, got you.
V has a Bentley. She's still saying that she's Donald's assistant. Is this a flashback? Did you guys understand?
No, I think
what was that?
I think we're seeing that Donald let her back in, and Shelly's like, all right, we got our money, whatever. Go do your thing.
Is that what happened? Did she become his assistant again?
I don't know if that's really what happened. I'm saying that's what the show showed.
I didn't listen to Ramona's podcast, so maybe at the epilogue they say that. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was a clever little Easter egg.
And by the way, who could know? Like once he's gone from the Clippers, not like people in our cohort. Like Ballmer comes in, new staff, it's new people.
Yeah.
You know?
We got one more time for Elgen.
Oh
just
my God.
picking up a basketball.
His form is
just lovely.
awful.
This show is trying to like do a campaign for Elgen, his new logo.
Doc. That's Doc.
That's Doc. Elgen should be the logo. Yeah.
My bad for dismissing you in that Whole Foods.
Erdogan existed back then, you know. I wonder if he was
it might have been Erdogan. Yeah, or it's probably it's probably Gelson's. It was probably a
Gelson's. Facts. 100% Gelson's. Definitely not a Ralph's or a Lowly Vaughn's.
Not
that's
a Vaughn's.
For sure.
No.
No,
I don't think Doc's going to Sprouts. I think that's happening.
Zach, who had better form, this fake Elgin Baylor or the real Bob Cousy in Blue Chips?
I mean, the real Bob Cousy in Blue Chips definitely felt more like a basketball player, like an old basketball player trying to shoot a basket, right? Because that's about how it looked. Now, Elgin, I don't think he looked like Ray Allen when he was playing back in the day.
No, he definitely
those
didn't.
old time jump shots were different, but this was a little like UCLA Lonzo Ball. His body's contorted in a way that like only Michael Kidd Gilchrist could understand.
We kid Elgin only because we love. We love you.
The real Elgin.
Love the real Elgin. Yeah.
It's fake Elgin. And Doc got divorced. Who could have seen that coming? You know? His wife wasn't even a character in the show except for the flashback.
I'm going to comment that.
Wow.
As far as who could have seen it coming.
The permissibility was not up to par.
She didn't have the right permissibility level, obviously.
And that is the key to...
She wasn't elastic enough. Duh.
It's really about traditional family values when it comes to permissibility, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in keeping the family together.
If your husband wants to have a second family in Kansas City, sight unseen,
like,
you know?
You don't stop the family from staying together no matter what. Right. Everybody knows this.
This is tough. This is a tough soundbite. Let's not make this our breakout video. This is
Doc wants to have a relationship with LeVar Burton. That's his prerogative, you know?
That is his prerogative. And God bless him. I'm sure he's loving Malibu still.
I do love me some LeVar Burton.
I love it.
You know? He's great.
He's great.
He's a great presence for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, playing
He's
himself.
Got a great salt and pepper look right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like great, yeah. He can pull it off.
By the way, tried to watch the Reading Rainbow documentary.
I couldn't get into it.
It was terrible.
I think I watched like 20 and I
it was
I'm not
brutal.
in the mood.
I was like, can't do it.
Yeah.
Too wholesome. Story's not good enough. Just there's nothing happening
it was
here.
The whole thing, like why like you can get me into the Nickelodeon thing. That's disgusting. Yeah, that's disgusting.
I'm
like,
in. Duh. This is despicable.
I'm not looking for an uplifting documentary.
No. Absolutely not.
Give me the Netflix poster of the Hitler thing that makes it look like Hitler had an even more evil side.
Let me tell you something, bruh. There is not a single World War II /Nazi doc that Netflix has put out that I haven't watched and finished within 2 days. I am locked on everything. And like the fact
what's happening?
I don't know.
The fact that I watched this shit as if it's a sporting event. And I think I've told you guys this before.
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh my God, is he going to take Belgium too? Poland? Oh my God. The French are going to fold? Oh,
how do you let him do that? How do you let him do that? Yeah.
Oh no, why did he invade Russia? Nobody does that. You can't beat Russia. Oh, they're getting beat back. Why isn't he surrendering already? His troops are getting killed. Civilians are getting smoked. Like, he should surrender by now. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep, that
should have never did Russia.
Yeah. Next thing you know, Waz going to be saying that General Rommel is the Pep Guardiola of Nazi Germany.
Bruh. Them fools, oh my God. So extreme. Oh my goodness. But yeah.
World War II?
World War II. No, the Nazis, man. Like
yes, of course they're extreme.
Yeah, so
that
extreme.
Didn't need clarification.
But again, I would argue, Zach.
Oh no.
That's what makes them compelling documentary subjects. That's all I'm saying. We're in agreement here, Zach.
Hold on a second.
We're in agreement.
Permissibility levels are through the roof.
We're in agreement here.
Hold on a second.
The extreme depravity of these guys is what makes them compelling documentary subjects, unlike the people that came up with the Reading Rainbow for PBS.
Let's just in the future, just a creative note here. Just a creative note here. Okay. In the future, let's try to, I don't want to say completely avoid, I don't want to box you in, but
sure.
Just if we start talking about viewing World War II as if it's sports.
No, like the outcomes.
Zach, we agree.
No, like, the outcome. I'm like, man, like, I wonder what's going to happen next. Even though I know what happens next, it's like the way that they tell the story is like, exactly how sports documentaries work, where it's like, oh, it was the first quarter and then they went down and somebody threw an interception and, oh my God, a fumble recovery. And like, that's how they do the doc.
And then it leads you to the realization, wow, these guys were extreme.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Which I think we all figured in the first place.
I mean, I remember very specifically
the World War.
My high school history teacher comparing Civil War advances to Terrell Owens on the Eagles breaking tackles.
Well, now hold on a second.
Yeah.
I'm
now
interested.
You're interested.
I'm interested.
Now I've got your attention.
Zach's okay. We get it. Zach's more of a Civil War guy. He's gonna attend some reenactments in Mississippi here soon.
Not Mississippi. No, you go to like Virginia.
I'm more of a World War II guy.
You have to be very careful.
I'm, Patton.
Okay, there we go. I got a little worried which side you're going to take there.
Easy killer. Easy killer.
If you do the reenactment in Mississippi, you really got to play it one way. You don't get to play around with your character too much.
And you're probably not going to do a battle that the Confederacy lost because it's like, come on, you got to play to the crowd here.
Yeah. Again, this is I believe they didn't ratify the amendment until like 1994.
Yeah. Mississippi, tough.
Yeah.
Tough spot. Tough place in America.
Not the best place I've ever been. Yeah.
You did live in Mississippi before.
I lived there for like 9 months.
You might be the only person I've ever met who's ever lived in Mississippi.
I only know one other person outside of Mississippi that is not in my family that is from Mississippi. There's a comedian. She's from Mississippi. That's really the only other person I know. Like that is
people just don't leave. They just like it so much there.
I don't think they know they're allowed to leave. I think they just like this is life. Yeah. Shout out to Tupelo, birthplace of Elvis. Tupelo, Mississippi. I think. A little factoid for you.
Always thought he was a Memphis guy. Okay.
No, he found his way there. It's only a couple hours away from Memphis.
Got you.
Yeah. So free agency.
Free agency.
What do you think? Wait, I want to ask Waz this because Waz is, in Clutch We Trust. LeBron gets to come out and have the reporting that he's willing to take a pay cut, big pay cut. Let's get that MLE working, right? And then Rob Pelinka doesn't do anything, and now it's like, all right, just give me the 50. Give me the 50 and the player option.
I don't necessarily think that's how that went. I think LeBron is clearly decided to use his influence within the organization in different directions.
What do you mean, Waz?
I think he'd rather I think he'd rather Dalton Connect. Notice Dalton Connect didn't break the record for most guaranteed money by a 17th pick before.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah. But those are set contracts, Those are, there's no wiggle room.
There is wiggle room, and people wiggle all the time. Like every year, we get some rookie that's like, "Yo, why isn't he just signed his rookie wage thing?" No, they're quibbling over blah blah blah. Like people do it.
Yeah, you can go I think 120% of the rookie deal or whatever.
Right.
Yes.
There's every year there's a rookie who does that. But if you notice, LeBron's kid broke the record for most guaranteed money by a 55th pick.
Yeah.
So it's my opinion that what's happening is that LeBron is just not something he's forcing the issue on. Clearly.
I've got a take.
Because he's a free agent. He could have left the team. If they didn't do what he asked, he could easily leave. And also, lest people forget, don't be naive. Don't think LeBron as a free agent could only go into the cap room of a cap room team. There are teams like Utah who exist specifically to rent out their cap space, to be the third team in a signing trade to facilitate that kind of thing. So make no mistake about it. If LeBron was like, "Yo, I'm forcing my way to the Knicks because we about to win a championship next year, baby. Garden's going to be rocking. Like these young horses, I got young horses behind me. I got all of this. Let's facilitate this. Let's make the Knicks happen. Me and my agent, a team, let's facilitate this." It would have happened. So that means if LeBron genuinely wanted to go to another team, or if he was like, "Yo, I have the threat of free agency. You do what I want, or else," that's what would have happened. But clearly, he's using his leverage that he has with the Lakers in other ways. It's just obvious.
I think this team, this organization, is grossly missing Magic Johnson. They have no closer.
Big Magic Johnson?
Big Magic Johnson. He's got closing ability. He's so they used to have Dr. Jerry Buss, right? And he was the best at closing these deals. And then they had the combination of Dr. Jerry Buss and Jerry West. And that was just Lakers mystique. They could get whatever they wanted. Dr. Buss dies. Jerry's moved on to other organizations, and they have struggled ever since. Now, Magic comes in there with Rob Pelinka. They get LeBron. You could say, hey, LeBron was always going to go there. Maybe. But they couldn't get LaMarcus Aldridge before that, and they get LeBron with this one, right? Once he leaves, the majority of the legwork on the Anthony Davis deal had already been done, right? Rob Pelinka pushed that over the finish line. Then they win a championship in the bubble. Since then, this team has struggled so mightily to close things when it comes to improving this roster because Rob Pelinka is not that guy and Jeannie Buss is not that person either. They need someone that has that Pat Riley aura, right? Like Pat Riley was running the Lakers with their resources and everything, like their mystique and their placement, all that. No question, they would be bringing in whoever they want. Like they just don't have that closer for these deals. And so I think LeBron goes out there saying like, hey, I'll do this. I'll do the pay cut. I'll do all that stuff.
He puts it in the fucking...
And it's kind of hollow because he knows Rob's not going to pull this shit off. And then also, like, I think people are hesitant to go there because they know, like, I don't know if LeBron's
heart is in this.
Like, not that he's not trying, but like he is at the end of his career, whether that's 2 years, 3 years, whatever. He is at the end of his career. And it's, what are you signing up for? LeBron used to be able to put you in title contention. So people were signing there for the minimum and everything. Not anymore.
Yeah, that's not even close to the case.
And it's not reasonable for him to be that guy still, right? Even as good as he is, like he's not supposed to be able to put you into title contention anymore. And the Anthony Davis thing has been like, I can't wait for the stories this year of like, hey, passing the torch to AD. Like it's my favorite tradition now in September. It's just like passing the torch to AD. And so because they don't have that and Rob's not good enough in that role to close things, they are just stuck in this limbo.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. The Clay thing, I don't want to blame them too much. Like his fucking dad tried to get him to come. You know?
I don't know that, but also like that's someone they would have gotten in the past.
Maybe. I don't disagree with you. I think the right persuasion could have happened because I think there's something to Jason Kidd. His reputation amongst players is sterling. Nico Harrison clearly has connection to players that he's able to do this. They offered Clay more money.
Yeah.
But I think part of it too is I think with the Clay thing that's specific is like he's this hyper competitive dude. He wants to stick the middle finger so far up Golden State's management's ass really badly. Yeah. And the Mavericks just went to the finals last year. The Lakers were in the play-in.
Yeah. Also, I don't know that if it had to be a sign and trade to get Clay to the Lakers, I don't think the Warriors do that. I don't think the Warriors want to see him 4 times a year.
Really? You think so? That's interesting.
I don't think they do that for the Lakers. I don't think they do that for the Clippers. I don't think they would have cared if it was the Kings.
The Clay thing is really that messed up. I think there was mutual interest between the Lakers and DeMar.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I guess that's done. Yeah.
That's done. It's not happening.
Yeah.
They're talking. They talking some old like mini mid-level shit to a dude who was one of the best clutch players in the NBA
like
last
7
year.
a year or something like that. Like that's
not going to happen.
He can do a sign and trade somewhere.
Yeah, and I heard he's got sign and trade offers like for his bread for like 2021 type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably need a closer. Like, I don't know. I just don't believe in Lakers management ownership. I don't believe in them.
That's why I think they need a closer.
Yeah. I don't believe in them. And like, as much as it pains me to say this, there's something to be said about the Grouseback dude who's about to sell, which is the worst part about him selling. If you're a Celtics fan, it's like this dude has put the right people in position to make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Just has. Like, you know, the Danny Ainge thing. Danny Ainge, I think, got a little bit too much dick sucking from the fucking media. But like, you can't say he was anything but a good GM.
No, he was really good. I don't think he's the genius everyone made him out to be there.
But he was a good-ass GM.
He's a A- B+.
Hired
GM,
good-ass coaches.
Yes.
They got Brad in there. This motherfucker went, hey, Horford, get your ass in here. Marcus Smart, get out of here. Kristaps, get in here. Derek, what? Like, bruh. Brad Stevens, I'm sorry. Drew Hot, like, Brad Stevens, I got to give it up to him.
Yeah. It helps inheriting Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I don't think we should forget
that's a big deal.
Yes,
that's a big deal. But like, goddamn,
you still have to know what to do with it.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
He's pressed the right buttons, but like their ownership has empowered great people, good people, you know, to draft Tatum in the first place, to draft Brown. Like, yo, the Lakers. Right?
This was my thing about the whole Darvin Ham scapegoat. If you don't think Darvin Ham's a good coach, that's fine. I didn't think he was a great coach. I also didn't think he was the problem. I looked at that. I'm like, look at the fucking roster.
Darvin Ham was scapegoated.
Yeah.
It's just no
roster. And now I think you'll see this with, I mean, who knows how JJ is going to be as a coach. I think he has a chance to be as good a coach as any of these people. Right. But if the roster construction is still what it is, now you will see Rob Pelinka truly under fire with this stuff. And he's got to make a move. You got D'Lo's contract and these picks, or Austin Reeves and these picks. Like, you can go get something.
I don't think they're going to use none of that. I just don't see it.
You can't dangle Austin Reeves and some picks to Utah?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think they're just content playing out the string. It's like, all right, cool. LeBron's in tow, meaning we have a viable team. This is not some terrible team.
They'll win 45-ish
they have a viable
games, maybe
team.
more.
Yeah, they're viable. That's good enough for the Lakers. Fans gonna be paying for them expensive ass seats.
We got a 2-year farewell tour for LeBron. It'll be interrupted a little bit by Charles Barkley this year, but other than that, like, we got a 2-year farewell.
What do you think about what's better than one son on the team?
That's like 3 years away.
Is it?
I think. He's a junior?
Isn't Bronny
or is he a senior?
Bronny's a senior. I mean, Bryce is a senior.
Okay, so then, all right. So we're talking, what, 2026?
Force another kid into the league. Let's go.
No, but he can shoot.
No,
I don't know if you follow Chris Brickley.
I haven't been Chris who?
Brickley?
Oh, he's his trainer?
Oh, you missed the James Gang workout session?
Oh my God. I just saw some people clip it. Come on. Come on. I can't do that. Listen, I'm in Clutch We Trust, but I stop at the kids. I can't with the kids.
I actually
Get the kids out of here.
I think Bronny is going to be fine. Like, I think he's going to be a solid NBA player.
You think he's going to be a legitimate NBA player?
I think
you think he'll play 7 years in the NBA?
Yeah, easy.
Wow.
Well, he's already got 3 guaranteed, so that's halfway.
He was a pretty big prospect, like top 40 prospect. Prior to the cardiac,
but the
incident.
Prospect list though.
Sure, and there's a lot of look, man. He's a good athlete. He's got decent size. He's good. He's got good skills.
So he's 6'3". Is he 6'3"?
Yeah, 6'2", 6'3".
6'2", 6'3".
Yeah,
doesn't handle it.
Oh, he's got a decent handle.
He's got handle now.
Are we assuming this is the best he'll ever be?
No.
Right.
But like at that size, it has to be much better. No,
I wouldn't judge anything that happened at USC because one, horrible program. Just look at Isaiah Collier, right? Like he was a lottery pick that went 29th because that program is so shit. Sorry, Mo. And then 2, he was 5 months prior to the start of his season, he had a cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
Like Jeff Green missed an entire NBA season with a heart issue.
Facts.
Right? Like, I think you have to give this kid time.
So you think he's going to one day be a
recover.
legitimate NBA player?
I think he'll be a rotation player. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
I don't think he's going to be an all-star. I don't think he's going to be
No. Then come on.
Like, I think he can be in a rotation for a decade. I think so. Yeah.
That's dope. And you think Bryce is going to legitimately...
I think Bryce is going to be all NBA.
All right. I think
get tickets to this live show, Racket, July 20th, New York City.
Oh man, in Clutch We Trust. Get your tickets now.
Clutch We Trust, indeed.